I love to do a quick little exercise together about the five senses and what we, like you and I, find maybe sensual or maybe sexual. Yeah.
Yes.
Should we start with
Yes.
that?
I love that.
Okay. So what's the first sense you want to start?
Yeah, let's start with smell.
Okay, smell. What is a sexual smell for you?
Ooh, I like this game. I think like a warm like skin or like
Mm,
sweat. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it has to be a sweat from someone we love or like someone we're attracted to? Because
No, I
I
mean
feel like a general sweat is so gross to me. Like at the gym, sometimes I'm like, ew, like I don't want to work out next to you.
it's funny. I said that. I was like, oh, that's a choice, Erica. I don't know. And it depends on our mood too, because
Oh, maybe it's your thing. Maybe it's your fetish. Maybe it's like, ooh, I
exactly.
love
I mean, yeah,
sweat.
I'm like, oh, that came out of nowhere. And I want to throw into the ring before we continue with the game. If someone is doesn't have a sense, fully a full capacity of the
Mhm.
sense, that's totally okay. And we could strengthen different areas. So I want to make PS, I just wanted to make this conversation inclusive to all. That if oh, I don't have that sense, a strong sense, no problem at all. You still can play this game. We could just lean on a different sense. So just wanted to throw that into the ring too, so everyone felt included. But yes, with smell, I'm laughing because I don't know why I picked that one.
Like warm skin, like sweat.
Yeah, I was like, ooh.
I love that. I love that you just gave an answer that just was that came to your mind first and not like and based on analysis answer.
Totally.
Uh, gosh, I'm trying to think now. I was gonna say similarly, but like particularly my partner's scent. And
Yes.
fun fact about my partner, uh, he doesn't like showering. He
Yeah.
thinks we in the people in the modern world shower too much, that
Wow.
we lose like natural human sense, like smell, and we shower too much and then we use perfume or cologne to like cover things up, when in fact like our natural human homo sapien scent is very attractive. So ever since we started dating, I have developed this not showering too much practice, and he thinks I smell amazing and I think he smells amazing, which is like a new thing to me comparing to like my whole like 30 years of life showering every day.
Totally. That's a
Yeah,
really good one. I like that one.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the next sense?
Scent. Let's do C or
Okay,
visual.
visual. All right, visual. What do you find visually sexually pleasing?
Oh, I want the whole, because my one of my blueprints is that one of my high blueprints, and that when I say blueprints I'm talking about the work of Jaya, is sensual. So I want an experience. So I would like rose petals. You know what I mean?
Ooh, uh-huh.
Right? Like I want an experience. Let's have like rose petals, maybe some really fancy sparkling water. Like I'm like, set the scene, let's get dramatic. Like I would
Ooh.
like that whole experience. Maybe a beautiful hotel. So I'm very sensual, sensation based and
Mhm.
visually based. So I would like to go on an experience. So like beautiful bed, rose petals, maybe some awesome chocolates. Yeah, so that's my visual.
So when you see these things, you feel like it helps you feel more aroused.
Yes, candlelight too, I
Okay.
should say.
Interesting.
Yes.
Gosh, now I feel like I'm so fucking low maintenance. I was just gonna say something really like shallow.
That's great. Listen.
uh, okay. What I find very sexually pleasing visually is that V thing that men have. What is it called?
Yes.
What is it
Oh,
called in English? English is not my first language.
I know exactly what you're talking about. But
Yeah.
yes,
The V
yes.
thing
Yep.
is very visually pleasing for me. Okay, what's the third?
Okay. Yeah, sound.
Okay, sound.
Ooh. I would think, I mean, this is the first place I go. I would think like moans.
Mm-hmm,
You know what I
mm-hmm,
mean? Like that's
mm-hmm.
just, I feel like an instant in for me.
Ooh, yeah. Moons are great. And especially, like PSA, men don't moan because you think it's awkward or you think it's unattractive or unmanly. That's not true. Like moaning is great for everyone.
It's true.
Uh, I think, I think, I think music, like a specific
Ooh.
kind of music, like like a lot of bass. You know what I'm
Yes,
trying to
yes,
explain? Like a lot of
yes.
bass, like very like multiple instruments.
Oh, I
Uh
like that.
the music that sounds sexy, that makes me feel sexy. Makes
Yes,
me feel
and
good
that's
about
such a
myself.
big one. That's such a because I think I have to interrupt for a second. That's such a big one because everyone has different music that, what I found was so interesting was when I was doing my work, like studying, in the brain, we think, "Oh, I love this song. I love this song." But sometimes our body is like, "Oh, I hate that song." And
Mhm.
so what's so interesting is exploring from like our body, like what music lights us up, what quote
Uh-huh.
unquote turns us on. So I love that you are so specific with like, bass and different instruments. I'm like, "Oh, she knows exactly." I love that. It's so good.
I love that you bring kind of like your coaching methods into this already. Like that you
Yes.
give us
I
like
can't
little
help
glimpses, and
myself.
we'll talk about that fully too. But I love, please keep giving us examples. But yeah, basically that kind of music makes me feel really good about myself, makes me feel sexy. That's like sexually pleasing to me. Okay,
Yes.
so that's the third. What's the fourth?
What else do we do? Taste.
Taste. Mm.
Ooh. I'm like, well, this is kind of a generic one and this is not as good, but I know for
Mm.
me, like the act of more of like a sensual eating practice
Mm-hmm.
is really, I mean, has been deeply healing in so many
Mm-hmm.
ways, and we could talk about that. But for me, when I'm like mindful of like taste, and
Mm-hmm.
like bringing turn on to it, it's like a whole, the deal. It's a whole different experience versus like chomp, 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 gotta go. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I guess I could say like chocolate and fancy sparkling water and kombucha, like I could say those things, but for me, beyond like the actual things, I think it's like how I'm doing it and the consciousness and the mindfulness of it. I'm like,
Mm.
ooh, that gets me to a different place. Yeah.
Ooh. Again, I was gonna say something so shallow.
I love it. I love it. No, but this is a good
I want
example
to be
because
I'm
it's
gonna be a good
perfect.
contrast here. But I mean, sorry for all my vegan listeners. I love you. But I would say steak. Steak
Ooh.
feels very sexual for me when I eat steak
Yes.
and a small portion. And I preach this all the time. Like if you're going out on a date night and like you want to hook up with this person, maybe it's early dating, or maybe it's like you've been together 10 years and this is your like night for a date night. Don't overstuff yourself, because when you do, I mean, it's a natural, very natural response that when you're too full, you have no room to have sex.
Right. Right.
Too full is
Exactly.
like not a good like position to be having sex, right? So yeah, I love steak. I think that's a good taste in my mouth that, I don't know, it feels sexual. I love a good wine. Like good wine is
Ooh.
really good, feels good on my tongue. I usually like to do like the like that obnoxious person that I drink like I do a sip of wine and I go and I would say like a good small like dessert.
Ooh.
Something creamy. One of my favorites is creme brulee.
Oh, I was just gonna say that. I was like,
Do
oh,
you
creme
like it
brulee,
too?
love it. It's so freaking
Yeah, but I'm
good.
like
Yes.
lactose intolerant, so it's like not good for me.
Oh, okay, yeah. It
Yeah,
starts
definitely
fun
not
and
not good for anal after.
yeah, yeah. I was like, it starts fun and then it goes south really quick.
Yeah. But I would say like those three items are like great taste in my mouth and enhances somewhat like sexuality in me.
I love that.
Okay,
That's so
what's
good.
the last?
And the last is touch slash feel. And again,
Okay,
I want to throw in my coach pro tip if I'm allowed, is
please.
yes, from the embodiment work too. Music was a big thing, but also what we wear. And I never thought about this because I always visually thought like, oh, this is cute or this is sexy or this is this. So I'm going to wear this. But what the work that I done taught me, like, how do you actually feel in this fabric? Like, yes, is it
Ooh.
visually appealing, but like exactly like what turns your body on feeling wise, sensation sensation wise. Is it like a soft plush robe, or is it something silky, or is it tight and leather? So I want to encourage the listeners, yeah, like not only visually, like yes, go after what visually is a yes for you, but also like try things on and see how your body interacts with it. Is it like ooh, or does it feel like ugh? So like that's a fun little invitation that we could all, play with. Like, how does your body react to certain clothes, jewelry, hairstyles, makeup, however you like to express yourself? See how your body reacts to it. So with that being said, for me, I think feeling is like comfy, cozy. So I want a silk robe. I would like feathers on my body. Still, we'll keep with the roses on the bed.
The
Like
roses, still,
yeah,
the roses.
it's always got that's a consistent.
Wow. Whoever who's dating you should have like rose subscription.
Yes. Well, but it's so good for Valentine's Day. He actually got me roses. The roses that are like preserved that stay like last for years. So I was like,
No.
I was like, you killed it. Like you did an
Oh, I
amazing.
didn't know that exists.
Yes, I was like, you did an amazing job because I always love this. So I was like, you
Oh,
nailed it. You nailed this Valentine's Day.
I love it. And oh my gosh, can we go back to that, like your coach tip about feeling
Yes.
your skin with the fabric? That's such a great tip. And I've never thought of it that way before. I've
Right.
always worn things that I feel confident in, that feels good in my body, but I never thought about it as in like how my skin interacts with it. And I never thought about hair being sexual. Like, of course,
Right.
I like my hair pulled from time to time, and that's obviously sexual. But like, I never thought about how I wear it
Exactly.
contributing to me feeling sexual. Do you think this is like for um women identifying people only, or do you think like men too?
I think men too. I'm going to be honest, a lot of the communities I learned this in were women centric. So it was like, if you had hair, like that was part of the conversation. But I think this is a conversation for all, because you know the deal. I think we go on autopilot a lot, and we're just like,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to wear this gray shirts on the floor. So this conversation I think is inclusive to all, because it's
And
like
I
that
think a
gray
lot of
shirt. Yep.
men autopilot a lot.
Yes. Exactly. That's exactly where I was going to. It's like, oh, well, there's that shirt on the floor. I guess I'm going to pick it up. And it's like, it doesn't have to be as wild. I mean, it can be as wild as like, how does a leather, feel on you? But it doesn't have to be that extreme. It could just be like, is this fleece feel good? It's just an invitation to go a little bit deeper and to actually like feel and be in our body sensationally, which is so cool
I
because it takes
love
5
an
seconds.
invitation. I love an
Yes.
invitation to go a little bit deeper.
Thanks for listening. This was Love Bites by Dr. Tara. Follow Dr. Tara on social media at luvbites.co. Have an orgasmic day.